Greg Stone. Welcome back to the conversation.
All right, look, I'm coming in hot, okay, because we were having a pre-talk, and we got to finish this talk.
All right.
Clone Wars, the cartoon,
Sure.
and Rebels is some of the best Star Wars that was ever made.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be a guy who loved this. I was you, and I'm telling you, the prequels are horrible movies. The Clone Wars makes them great movies. You have to.
Wait,
as a
before we go
podcaster,
turn your gain down a little bit more. I feel like you're
turn this game down.
You're excited. You're excited.
Turn it all the way down to its lowest levels.
Yeah, turn gain all the way down. Let's see if I can hear you.
It works for me.
Testing. How's this?
That's fine.
This is all the way down. Oh, this is.
Okay, turn it up a little.
How's this?
Like 25%.
How about that?
A little more.
Oh boy. Yep. How about this? This is me talking still. How about now in the yellow? This is me in the yellow.
You're fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I can hear you. I'm going to turn Bill down, and I'm going to turn you up.
Story of my life.
Talk.
Always getting turned down.
Greg, talk.
This is me talking. Bill,
Perfect.
Good to see you, bud.
Good seeing you, Greg.
This is his way.
I'm keeping this.
Also
good.
Good.
This is your way of not accepting the cartoons, the Star Wars animated universe.
Let's reset. So prior to me hitting record, we were talking about Star Wars, and then I am showing my child Star Wars, and I've decided to do 1 through 9 in order because I like numbers. I like things that make sense. You wouldn't know things unless you do that. Greg, you said you were doing a different order. What is your order for when you show your child Star Wars?
My order for Star Wars for my children is going to be, and so it could change, but right now I'm living with the original trilogy.
Yep.
Then the prequels.
Okay.
Then Clone Wars cartoon. Rebels.
Sure.
And then, if they're old enough, we'll get to Andor and the TV shows if they're still interested. Probably never going to show them the sequel, so they want to do it on their own. That's The Godfather 3 to me. I'm like, we don't need it. It's fun acting, but look, we don't need it. We don't need it, and we don't need it. And I will. Can I tell you something else? I also have to tell you this thing that happened to me because of this.
Okay.
Oh God, this is gonna make. Do you want to see me fucking enraged?
Yes, please.
So I do want to tell you that the Clone Wars cartoons are the best Star Wars. Clone Wars and Rebels is some of the best Star Wars non-books that has ever existed.
Wait a minute, now you're putting books on the table?
Because I don't read. I can't read. I have too many learning disabilities. I read Heir of the Empire and the other two in that trilogy.
Shadows of the Empire, the N64 game. That's the best Star Wars ever.
I did read Shadows of the Empire, the book. It's one of the only books I've ever read because I can't read.
To me. I almost read it.
It's great.
I read a couple pages.
And the audio.
Oh, that's what I should get. What the hell is that?
Yeah. So this happened to me online. I was a little stoned. I'm surfing the net, and someone wrote, "If you think can we just? I don't want to tell the story. It's gonna make me really angry." Someone yelled at me for saying not Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi was a horrible movie, and then called me like a racist and right wing.
You didn't like The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi was a horrible movie. It was a horrible movie.
How many times? Let me hold on, Greg.
The Last Jedi. Let's get into it.
You're one of those Star Wars fans.
Well, you don't get to say that if you haven't seen the cartoon. So
I've seen the I'm aware. I've seen the media.
You're aware
of the
toys.
Of it. I have the underoos. I'm aware of it. I've seen it. I just don't care for it. It's not even that I don't care for it. I just said that I think that if it's live action, it feels more important than if it's a cartoon.
Let me tell you how I see canon.
Yeah.
I want to express this because I've been thinking about this all week. And then I want to hear about what you said I'm one of those guys, and I want to get into that. Before I throw my microphone through the television, this is how I look at storytelling.
It's called
and this is why I'm a guy who I love almost everything. So I love most movies. If I could find something about it, I love it. That is the one thing that I really love everything. It's crazy, and I don't care. I try to love everything. The way I look at Marvel movies, any kind of movie, is I go, this is someone telling me the story. I don't look at it and go, hey, I'm watching it actually happen, right? So when Thor Ragnarok happened, it was a little funnier. And I go, well, that's because the person telling me the story right now is a little funnier, and they're leading in on this stuff. It's easier to watch a movie. This is the story. This is the storytelling aspect of it, right? The guy who did Andor, how's he telling the story? Well, this is a guy who probably tried to kill himself a few times. He's got some darkness, okay? He's telling me through that lens, right? And it allows you, even comic book runs, right? If you think of it in comic book runs terms, all of the crazy shit that happens, you go, oh, well, that's just how they kind of told me the story. So if the things don't match up, it's okay. It gives you wiggle room, and it allows you to love stuff more. So when you see the cartoons, it's more of, oh, that's the way it takes some imagination, but that's the way they told you the story, and it allows you to kind of get on board a little more. But it's all different types of storytelling, and you need that. They're all just as serious as the next.
All right, let me counter that. Not so much counter. Let me explain myself. Have you seen the Harry Potter films?
Yes, of course.
What about Hellboy? Did you see the Hellboy movie, the first one, or maybe the second one?
The original.
You saw the original.
I didn't see the new remake.
There's a part in those films where they need the exposition. They need to explain something, but there's not enough time in the movie to like explain it with like live action. So they cut to like a puppet show. They have like stuff made of like paper, like construction paper, like it's like Captain Underpants. If you've ever seen that, they cut to like puppets because it's like too violent. That part of the movie, I zone out. Like that is not part of the movie in my mind. That's like, here's like this extra part that you need this information, but it's not part of the movie. And that's how I view the cartoons. This is great information to have, but I'm not considering this part of the movie.
Well, then you're saying it's like canon?
Well, canon's a whole other conversation. It is canon in that information can be then used in the live action films, but it's just like an extra little piece that you don't necessarily have to watch to understand
here's
the story.
True. But no.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You were accepting the fact that the Clone Wars bookend from the first Battle of Geonosis to the Battle of Coruscant, and that's all you get, and you are satisfied with that. You are not happy with anything in between? Like, you don't want to know what's going on in between, all the intrigue and the political business and everything like that?
If it wasn't important enough to put in a movie, I don't need to see it happening.
Pause. Let me tell you here. Sorry. And look, the reality is, this is your opinion. It's only going to cause you pain and suffering. Me and Bill are living a great life, enjoying stuff to the max.
Love my life. Yes.
Loving it.
Now, I'll tell you, Greg, I'll tell you right now, I wasn't on board with Clone Wars right away.
Me neither.
It took. Me neither. I did see it in the theater. Surprisingly, I didn't see it opening night like a live action.
Wait, are we talking about the movie or the show?
Like,
terrible.
The movie.
That they put the cartoon on a theater and made you go pay to see it.
I'm talking about the cartoon, but they did
the
little
baby Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, I loved it. It's great. It's a great. It's
they
a
walk
great
like
movie.
marionettes. Oh.
You can say what you want. It's not going to be good or true, but we'll let you speak.
Some of the best polished. It's one of those shows, Paul, that only gets better as it goes on.
Significantly.
Does it become live action? Because that's the only way.
Yes, it does. In Ahsoka.
The end. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ahsoka.
But no.
See?
But no. If you watch
those stories were important enough to be live
final
action.
the final season where they actually use physical actors to map out the animatics for like the final lightsaber scenes, it's legitimate people doing this, and then they just obviously use computers to embellish.
Bill,
it, but
you
that's
don't even
not
have
the
to
point.
say that. The Mandalorian, the TV show, literally are the next seasons of Clone Wars and all that. That's when they start bringing all those characters in. The idea that you just can't watch it because it's a cartoon is crazy because you're a nerd. And most of our shit is cartoons. Most of it. 90% of the stuff we love is cartoons. So you to turn here and go,
let me take you back. Let me take you back. Growing up, all we had were cartoons. The biggest event in my young life was anytime a cartoon got a live action film adaptation. Super Mario Brothers, sure, Ninja Turtles.
Sure.
That was the biggest deal. So right there, the live action, much more important than the cartoon.
Cooler? Yes. Better to the eye? Yes. Better storytelling? No.
I'm not even saying that. Bigger
That's
deal.
what I'm saying, but you're saying it's not
more
important.
More important. More people see it.
You're making. I've never been so crazy in my life. The rage and confusion running through my blood to say something has better stories but isn't important. Like, I mean, that's not an objective. I mean, important is if it's canon, which it is just as important from a certain point of view if you're watching the show. So it is just as canon as the other things.
Do you consider the Boba Fett cartoon from the Christmas special the first appearance of Boba Fett?
Do I consider it what? Canon?
The first appearance, yeah, canon, and the first appearance of Boba Fett.
It's not what I consider canon, it's what they consider canon. So if they say that that's
George?
canon, yeah, whoever's running Star
Kathleen?
Wars. Yeah, they said, if they dub it canon, it's canon. That's
Sure.
they're the gods.
You're so like concerned about canon. Canon's not even a thing. Nobody at
canon is a thing.
No one at Lucasfilms being like, this is canon. Da 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 da. They're gonna change it to be whatever they want it to be.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Oh,
canon,
it's so true. It's so true.
They said it. Disney has come out and said the books and all the things in the extended universe are not canon.
Right, but they were at one point. Something happened.
But they're not now.
Well, if things can become uncanonized, what's the point of anything ever being canon?
You're just playing devil's advocate for some reason I don't understand. I don't know why, but we get the idea of why it's canon. What I'm trying to let me come down a second. What I'm trying to tell you, when it all comes down to it, what I'm trying to tell you is, from what I know of you, if you watched Clone Wars and Rebels, and really gave it a shot, you will love it. And I want you to have that experience. That is really all I'm doing here. But if you're like, I really don't want to watch it, then you don't have to, and you don't have to enjoy it. But as someone who like was like, I'm not watching this crap, and my brother said, no, dude, you got to, and I went, all right. I eventually watched it, and I was like, oh, this is some of the best Star Wars stories out there, or at least whatever. I love the show, and I love Rebels, and then it makes The Mandalorian, it makes all those shows, it makes the prequels better. It makes you actually care that Plo Koon dies. It makes you go, oh man, that's sad. Because the movies, and let me explain this about the movies. George Lucas was not a great storyteller, right? He had a lot of ideas, but really had a hard time pulling off his vision in those movies. So when you watch Clone Wars, you're really just getting this ESPN highlight of what was happening there. I mean, the prequels are not good movies, but what George was trying to tell us was good. He just didn't pull it off. But then when Filoni and all these other people got involved, they were able to be like, hey, work with him and go, they got his vision truly out there. And when you see Cody, the fucking clone trooper, talking to fucking Obi-Wan in the prequels, you didn't care. But as a guy who loves the cartoons, you go, holy shit, fucking Cody, there he is. Rex. You get so excited. And anyway, I just want that for you.
No, I
and my children.
I do. I just don't really care about like the clone troopers and stuff, so maybe that's why.
You don't because you haven't seen the show.
But if there's like a Jabba's Palace cartoon, I would watch it. No, I really feel like I wouldn't. I just don't care about it.
They all have different personality. Yeah. So
yeah,
you're a great. Do you know the story? Do you know the story of Paul in Star Wars? Paul never saw Star Wars until he met me. Yeah.
It's true.
He had no clue. He had no clue
to Star Wars. Yeah,
he went like 12 years of his whole life without knowing what a Star Wars was.
And my family owned a video store, and somehow I saw like every Puppet Master. I saw Mac and Me, but I'd never seen Star Wars. Never saw Star Wars.
So
it was always checked out.
There's a mental block in there.
No.
There's truly some kind of block in there that you're having, and you're showing it now because you won't listen to two guys who you seem to like and trust, right? You're not listening to us, and we're saying you will love it, and it's okay that you won't, but you have to. This isn't about Star Wars anymore. Yeah. This is about you letting go of whatever hurt you and just saying, I'm better because of that thing. Mm-hmm. And then watching Star Wars, Clone Wars.
Do you know the story of Bill in Star Wars? He doesn't even like the movies. He just likes the toys. He doesn't even like the films.
What like movies do you not like, Bill?
Huh?
What movies do you not like?
All of them.
No, they're all good movies. They're just not great. Like, they're not my favorite movies. But I love the collecting aspect of it. I love that part of the culture. So I embrace that.
I feel like I'm talking to communists.
No, but I've seen all the media. That's the thing. I've seen all the media. I do enjoy it. I just don't think I don't think they're stellar movies. I think they're good movies. I think they are good at really.
What do you think a good movie is? What, in your opinion, what's a good movie? What's the best movie? Yes, you.
My opinion, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh my God! And Star Wars is bad, but you like the Indiana Jones movies.
Rogue One.
Jesus Christ!
Rogue One is a masterpiece.
Rogue One is
a masterpiece. Good. So even if you want to say, like, okay, some of the Star Wars movies they're kind of fun and they're kind of kid-like, Ewoks are silly, you can say, okay, well then I'm going to pull my card out, which is Rogue One and Andor, and go, if that's what you need, then this section is for you. This is where Star Wars is great for you. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave planet Earth.
Paul, you and I both liked Andor.
I like Battle for Endor. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, Battle for Endor is good.
With the Ewoks? That's what I like.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah. That's right.
And introduction of the Blurgs. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I think Star Wars is so incestuous, where it's like now it's like, oh, this thing happened in one frame, and you know this off project in 1980. Let's put it in the movie.
That was so fun that they created a whole
but it's
movie
like,
out of
it's
that
like
one line. That's
now.
Rogue One.
It's too much of it. Well, I know.
Literally, they took
hey
one
Siri,
line
explain
from the
world building. Thank you.
It's just too much. It's too
my
much.
favorite thing about Mandalorian is that you can watch it and pick almost anything on the screen and Google it and find so much information about that. There's like the real world. You can. That's what's so fun is that the care that can go into Star Wars, which is like, oh, that guy's boot is from another
the ice cream maker. They explained what the ice cream maker was from Empire that the guy's running out of Bespin with. Like that's a thing now. It's a bank. You can buy it at Disney now.
I don't count that because that's more of like an off-screen thing. I'm more talking like
that was on screen.
No, I mean off-screen.
Mean like,
that's not what I mean. What I mean is like it's a behind-the-scenes thing. In the Star Wars world, they're not like this is an ice cream maker. They're like it's some kind of whatever the machine is. It's something.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
But the prop was an ice cream maker. It looked like that for like ever. People thought that's what it was.
Right. But what I love about Star Wars is what I'm saying is that what I love about Star Wars is that you can look at like a character and someone somewhere has written something about most of the things you see on screen, which is exciting. That's really
but is
deep
that canon
way.
Or that's fan fiction?
No, it's I mean, it's if the thing was written about was I'm not saying some guy in their house. I'm talking about there's probably a comic book. Or it's from another show, you know. It's something they use a lot. There's a toy. There's like, oh, that was a fucking toy from this. And in the Wikipedia, here's a whole backstory on that.
That's appreciate exciting. That there is such world building in Star Wars, but I think that I have reached a point, and I feel like maybe a lot of people have reached this point where it's like, all right, can we just kind of like narrow in on something? Like this is a little bit much. There's a lot going on.
You can throw out DVDs. That has always been my thing. If
what
there's a thing you don't want, if you can throw out DVDs. If they can make a movie, you don't have to watch that. Like I didn't watch Acolyte, not for any political reason. I watched the first 2 episodes.
It was so good. It gets so good. It gets so
really
good. It really
I
does.
don't know if you're.
I'm not kidding. We talked about it. Thanks for listening.
It
got canceled though. It got canceled.
If I don't
even
have time for Acolyte, I don't have time for podcasts. But I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, I will get to this. I'm just too tired right now, so I will get to it. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it doesn't turn me on, and I will get to it because like I said, I like everything. I loved everything. I'm not one of those people. I refuse to be one of the negative nerds.
Except Last Jedi.
Except Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
It's one of the only movies I hate. They ruined Luke Skywalker.
Okay, so that's your issues. Can you if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, do you still say it's bad structurally as a film, as a story?
If that wasn't Luke Skywalker and that was Jimmy Hoffa, the Jedi.
Right. Yeah.
Great. Fine. Right. But yeah. That's Luke Skywalker. That's Luke Skywalker. And I even respect Rian Johnson. I love Rian Johnson's other movies. I respect him for trying to make a choice, but he made a bad choice. He took a big swing, and that fucking swing happened to ruin things that my son is named Luke. My son, his name is Luke.
How old
My
is your
son's
son?
name is Luke, right? Luke Skywalker was me. He was the man who, when faced to the galaxy, they were like, the fucking galaxy is at risk. His friends are all going to die. He threw the lightsaber and said, I am a Jedi like my father before me, okay? He's not going to try to kill his nephew. He's not. And if he is going to try to kill his nephew, I need to see 90 hours of movies that shows me what eventually brought him to that.
You get comic books, Greg.
Well, they're going to do a
That's
cartoon.
all you get.
You can see. Just wait for the cartoon. There's going to be a cartoon that makes you love The Last Jedi, like you love the prequels. It's going to happen.
I'll say this. There is a possibility. I'm open to that.
Sure.
I hated the prequels. Then I watched Clone Wars, and now I like the prequels. I'm totally fine with that if they could fix it.
Yeah.
I want them to fix it. I want them.
I will say that Rian Johnson did not put Luke Skywalker on that island. He just had to figure out how to get him off the island.
Oh, sure.
He never left the island, Paul.
But that's right. He never left the island. Well, didn't he raise up the? Oh, he gave her the X-wing. That's right.
He also didn't even show up. He didn't show up to face his nephew. He teleported.
He couldn't.
Man, you get there. If your nephew is that, you show up in person. Stop it. What are we doing?
He wouldn't. It wouldn't have worked then. He would have been struck down. You saw those missiles. More.
Then he would have, which he eventually did die anyway. He would have. I mean, it's your family. It's just like, and also just a big problem with that movie is that they kill the main baddie, leaving the third movie with nothing to play with. So then everyone gets mad at fucking JJ for bringing back Palpatine. But what fucking choice did he have? He had nothing. They got rid of the main bad guy because it was selfish storytelling.
I will
the only movie I hate. It's the only movie I hate of every movie.
Carrie Fisher really fucked them over by dying because that was supposed to be like a big Princess Leia movie, and then they were like they couldn't even change Rey's costume because they had like some shots over the back where like she was talking to her. Yeah, that
Wasn't
really
that didn't she die before Rise or like right before Last Jedi?
Well, she died before the second one came out, but they had finished filming it. So when she like flies out into space in the theater, you're like, oh, they're gonna kill her on screen here, but no, she survives until the last movie.
They were just content with killing one of every original character. Each movie.
One per movie.
Right.
Yeah. Can't
Why? They wanted to get rid of the old and start the new so they can sell more toys. That's what
that
they
didn't work because they didn't sell any toys. Nobody buying any of these toys now.
They didn't. It was a complete. But they recalibrated. And I know a lot of people say they hate Disney Star Wars, but I don't. I mean, there is some shit that's like not that great. But I love Disney Star Wars. I love all of the shit. I just keep making it. I don't care. If people hate me for it, I don't care. I love it. Mandalorian's been great.
To the parks.
The Mandalorian has been great.
Have you been to the parks to see Disney Star Wars?
No, not yet.
No. We got to go. Come during the week anytime. I have weekday passes. We can go.
Do you live in Florida?
To Batu.
Wait, where do you live?
Florida?
You live in Florida?
Like an hour from Disney.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can actually make this happen?
Yes, 100%.
Oh my God, because it's like
there's remote.
Okay. We can't talk about this because if I book a gig in Florida close to you, and then I go to Disney World, it'll have to be on the fly, and I didn't. Yeah. And by tax purposes, I mean it's a wife write-off where my wife doesn't get mad at me. So it's like, oh, it just kind of happened.
It just happened, you know.
Didn't you make the same offer to me last week, Paul? It's terrible. You're such a whore.
Bill, anyone that wants to go to Disney with me in this room right now. I'm not talking about people on TikTok. Just Bill or Greg. Anyone that wants to go during the week, let's go. In this Zoom call right now, yeah. Well, okay. I think we've covered a lot of ground. Yeah, I don't even know. I think we need some actionable items. So I am going to attempt to watch the Clone Wars cartoon on Disney Plus. Greg, your homework is to watch The Last Jedi until you love it. Keep watching it. It'll happen to you.
Paul, do you remember when we left the screening of Revenge of the Sith? and
That's
everybody
the
looked
third
at me.
one.
That was the third prequel, and everyone
Yeah.
looked at me, and they were all expecting me for my opinion, and I said I didn't like it,
Yeah.
and I had to see it 6 more times in the theater in order to appreciate it. That was something.
But you got there, right? You got there?
I got there. I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
The toys helped.
I'm there now. I'm there now through
Yeah.
through my theory of, hey, this is the way someone told me the story. So because my big problems with the third one was I thought the Obi-Wan fight was too over the top. I liked it was fast, but like swinging through swinging over lava. I'm like, come on, man.
Hanging on to
It's
the
too much.
droid. Whee!
Yeah, like
yeah,
it was just like
lava
got a
is
little.
hot.
It's like parkour.
It is hot, baby. But now I've come to the terms of like, oh no, we've gotten so much of their Star Wars that has made this okay. This is just a couple bad scenes.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it. I still having a good time. And I like everyone in the Rise of Skywalker. I love all the actors. I love
No, it's a great
the
cast.
joke.
It's a great movie. It's all great
just
choices.
cardinal
all
sin
good
for me.
choices. Bad choice. Let me ask you this. If they remade Star Wars starting at episode 1 all the way through 9, new actors, but same stories, would you be on board or would you burn it to the ground?
No, absolutely. I want.
You would love that.
What
You
I
want it,
actually
yeah.
want is Dave Filoni to do a Clone Wars remake
Live action.
of. Not, I mean, do a cartoon version of
No!
the
was almost with you.
prequels, Jedi.
Oh.
I want him to finish. Just keep going through that, and that's not for you,
okay.
but it'll be for me.
It's not for me.
I'm saying
That's not for me.
finish your stories, man.
Sure.
If I wouldn't want them to redo, I would like them to redo the prequels because
Yeah.
they're just so choppy now, and the sequels need to be destroyed.
Yeah.
The sequels,
Take
I want
them out of canon. Take them out
I
of
say
canon.
not take them out of canon.
Redo
They need to
them.
give us so much more in between. I want a
Yeah.
recast Luke Skywalker movie after Return of the Jedi or show. That's what I want. That's the only thing I want.
You don't want the face AI thing. You want a new
No.
actor to play him.
No, get the Winter Soldier. He looks perfect.
Yeah. I don't
showed
think
those
they're going to
image-
do it again because that Han Solo movie bombed. I don't think they'll ever recast again.
But I'll say this: Han Solo movie only bombed because I read the thing about it. Where it was put in the theaters, it had just come after some crazy movie. There was all this stuff, and when I first saw Solo, I hated it, and then I
really?
watched it again, and I went, "No, this movie's pretty friggin' great."
It is.
I actually love it now.
Yeah.
I
no,
do
it's
like
good.
it.
You just have to accept that it's not Harrison Ford, but it's the character of Han Solo. And once you can once you like unlock that part of your brain where it's like, okay, this is the character, then it's great. I think it's great. And it's sad that we're not getting a sequel because it would have been even better. Like all of these hanging chads with Darth Maul and Daenerys or whatever her name is in that. Like, I want to know what happened to those people.
Right. Well, I do
Watch
want
the Clone Wars
Well,
Exactly, we will.
I watched that scene on YouTube.
and
so I
watch
do know what happens.
watch Rebels. Then you know exactly what happens to Maul.
What's the
I would-
really kiddie cartoon that they did for Star Wars?
Adventures?
Resistance.
I haven't watched it.
Resistance?
2.
Yeah, I watched
So now
that.
there's
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah. Now there's
It's
like
like a racing
Younglings
show.
Adventures or something.
That's true. It is like a racing show.
Yes, but that takes place in the High Republic. That's a High Republic show.
Oh, right. Those toys didn't sell
The
either.
kids said- no, they
Keep
did
trying.
not.
Keep trying. I don't know what it's going to take.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. I think I would, and I thought they were still doing it, but a Lando. You don't have to do another Han Solo show. You do a Lando movie or show, and then you have Han
Cancel.
Solo showing up in it.
Yeah.
They canceled
I think
it?
it got canceled.
Yes, it got canceled.
Yeah.
Donald
They're canceling
Glover
everything.
announced-
Star Wars not doing well.
I think
It's
that was
all
announced
hi-
a month ago.
It's
that it
all
wasn't
hinging
moving
on
forward.
Mando and Grogu. If that fails in theaters, that might be the last Star Wars thing we see for like a decade.
Yeah.
No, they've made
Yeah.
a ton of movie off of Mandalorian. I mean, I don't know. I don't have numbers.
Diminishing
I don't know
returns,
returns.
though.
That's Star Wars for some people, and I mean, I don't know if I was
Yeah.
a big fan of the third season as much as I was.
No, I know.
The other two.
It was a step back.
It was.
Didn't take the helmet off.
See, this is
the
what
characters
this is
were
the-
different.
This is your problem, and this is the problem. If you watch Clone Wars through like 9
Yeah.
seasons, you go, "Yeah, this season wasn't so good," and then this one was. You're gonna have some seasons that aren't as great.
No,
But it's
I know,
about committing.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, season
But it's
3 wasn't
about the trajectory. It's like it was going up and then it went way down, and they changed
mean- I
the
don't think it
character
went way down.
motivations.
what
Grogu
happened?
should have stayed with Luke. Should have stayed with Luke. That would have been better. Why'd you put the helmet back on?
Who put the
Katie
helmet back
Sackhoff. Do we really need her? Do we really need her as much as we have her?
on? Yeah, you don't need her because you don't watch Clone Wars. But yeah.
Well, I didn't watch Battlestar Galactica either, so.
You didn't?
Oh. That's shameful. See, I would almost have you watch Battlestar Galactica.
I watched Sequest. Does that count?
No.
Give me any points Sequest?
I almost would have you watch the new Battlestar Galactica over.
There's a new one?
Did you just get glasses and say, I'm going to do a nerd podcast? What are your credentials here? What have you seen?
I have high blood pressure and made my eyes go bad, so that's why I got glasses. I wish I didn't have them. I remember not needing them. It was wonderful.
That's funny.
I wear mine frequently, but take them off for the show. So.
There's too much glasses if we both have them. Good Lord.
Yeah,
I need to get
way
LASIK.
too much.
I watched Battlestar Galactica way later, and it's so good. It really held up. It really is so good. It sucks. I think the last season isn't as good because there was a writer's strike, so they kind of got fucked at the end. But it's still worth
it's
it.
the worst.
It's
why
still
Heroes
worth
got
it.
bad. I love space. Space is my favorite genre. My favorite series that takes place in space is the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
What do you think about Alien?
I do. Alien and Alien. Here's the thing. I saw Aliens first and was like, this is amazing. But thought that's what the...
I brought my Alien back out.
There it is.
That does not look like an alien.
It's Xenomorph.
He's
there we go.
There he is. There he is.
I fixed it.
Here's that cutie.
He's back
They got
again.
no eyes. They got no eyes.
Yeah, I saw Aliens and loved it, but didn't realize that wasn't as good as Alien. And then I watched Alien. I'm like, oh, this is a whole other thing. Alien
a whole
was
other thing.
significantly better.
Yes, it's crazy because I think I had the same experience because Aliens had a toy line, and that's probably why I knew about it.
100%.
And then going back and watching Alien as a child, I was like, this is boring. Why aren't they shooting at everything? But I watched them all this week because I saw Covenant, or what's the new one? Romulus. And they're just the best movies ever. The first two, oh my God. And I love Prometheus too. That holds up. I know people don't like it because of what it does, but it's a good movie.
Yet. And I'm still kind of avoiding spoilers if that's crazy. Someone told me Prometheus was unbelievable. So I'm like, I was going to watch that, and then my friend told me that Prometheus is actually amazing. I didn't hear it was bad.
It's not bad. It's just it changes the like origin of the species.
Barely
gives it an origin.
It just tells a different story.
There was no there was no origin to the alien. This tells the origin of much more than just the xenomorph, like everything. So it's like a very large story, and then the sequel to that gets even more granular about like how exactly things go, and people really don't like that. But it's still a good story whether you like it or not.
Okay, I have to get myself. That'll be my homework. I'll watch the Alien
on
movies.
Hulu. Watch on Hulu. It's too spicy for Disney Plus. They put it on Hulu.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I do love Alien. Alien
Paul,
versus
did you
Predator,
watch
so good.
Prey?
Prey is a Predator thing?
It is, yes.
I don't like Predator. Predator is goofy to me. It's goofy. I don't like that they combine them, and I'm glad that people don't think that's canon. Because that's like way too far in the like that's like present day. Like Predator is present day. Like the 80s. Alien is 2000 like 2100 whatever. Like that's way in the future.
Oh, right. I never put that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Predators haven't evolved at all by the time they fought Predator and Aliens.
Have they ever done like a future Predators? I think Aliens won, and that's why there's no Predators. Or
I guess
Earth just dies is what happens.
Wow. I mean, I will say I would love to see a Predator versus Batman movie. I did love that comic.
There's a fan film. You know those like The Bat in the Sun? Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
They did Batman versus Predator, I'm pretty sure.
That's fun. There was that movie studio guy who made the thing. I think it was called Dead End, where it was like Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then he fights an alien. No, it's Predator.
It's something like that. Yeah. That's like the final boss, like tease. I remember that. Yeah, that was a big deal when that came out.
Yes, he fights. What the fuck? How do I not remember if it was a Predator alien?
Maybe it was both.
I think it might have.
Like
I think
epic
it was
rap battle of history. Just everyone comes out.
Did you see that? Do you remember that Batman Dead End?
I 100% remember that. That was a huge deal because like the costume was so like comic accurate and people loved it.
And neither of us can remember if he fought an alien or a Predator.
I mean, it was like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy though. It's fun.
I'm looking. I see the still. That's Predator. That's Predator.
Okay. And then at the end, there's an alien shows up, I think. I think that was the teaser.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like, here we go again. Yeah, here's Alien. Yeah, so they're both in it.
Right. That's crazy.
I love you too. Batman wins. Yeah. What's your favorite movie of all time?
That's a crazy ass question.
I want to set. Well, let's all say on 3. Let's all say our favorite movie of all
Hang
time.
on, I gotta think.
All right,
I gotta think. Oh wait,
it should just be there. You should just have.
but there's so many. I mean, like
in case
comedy. What's brought me the most joy? What's a movie that moves me the most?
You're
like,
making this too complicated. Let's say you were on a desert island. You could only bring one movie with you. What movie would you bring with you?
Okay.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Gremlins 2.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow. Okay.
Mm.
Not Empire. Jedi. You go Jedi.
No, I'm a Jedi guy, and I get that Empire is a better movie, but to me, it's not because the final. First of all, Ewoks. I was a kid. I loved it. Whatever.
Sure.
But that final fight of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and the redemption is one of my favorite things in movie history of all time.
Do you feel like that Empire gets a little bit too much credit because of the big reveal? Do you feel if it didn't have that reveal, people would not like put it on the pedestal that they put it on? Not that it's a bad movie. It's just like people are like, it's untouchable in the eyes of some people.
That's like saying, well, if they took the ending of Sixth Sense away, you think it would be as good? It's like,
no,
you changed everything.
Okay,
I Am Your Father changed everything.
100%. Here's a sticking point that I have with Star Wars especially.
Mm-hmm.
Movies are crazy because it's not written in stone and things get changed, even from when they shot it. When they shot that scene, he doesn't say, Luke, I'm your father. He says, like, what did he say? He said something equally crazy, but not that.
No, he just says, Luke, I killed your father.
Luke, I killed your father is very different from Luke, I am your father. So leaving, they did that so that the surprise wouldn't get out. But, that was going to be the story, some people thought. So movies are weird because it could change. And, Lucas went back and made Han Solo shoot after Greedo. Like, all these things. That's why it's like it's a living organism.
They shouldn't have done any of that. They shouldn't have done
I agree.
Saying that the what's-name shooting, changing when he shot is different than not revealing, I killed your father. I mean, they did that to keep the secret.
Yes.
I think Empire's still a great movie because you don't have a lot of the fluff. Like there isn't like the cute things running around for silliness. Like Ewoks, I love, but I could see people being like, "Well, what the hell? You didn't need this." You know what I mean? But I love them. But I think that probably if you had to go like number wise on what's an actual better movie, I could see calling it Empire. But I'm more emotionally connected to Return of the Jedi.
I just like that green lightsaber. That's what does it for me.
So
in Jabba's palace. I'll just watch the first 20 minutes and then I'm good.
Yeah, you don't know if is he gonna go dark? Is he going dark side? Is he not?
I know.
Right to the edge.
I know.
Remembers.
I never thought about that as a kid.
Like my father before me.
Yeah.
Never thought about what
he really.
Luke going to the dark side.
Like that there was a chance it could happen.
Like there was a chance. Yeah. No, it never made sense.
Yeah.
Well, it never came up, in my opinion.
No.
Never thought about it.
Yeah, I don't feel like there was. He never implied where he was.
But I was a child when I came out, so I was looking at it a child's eyes. He was just the hero.
Sure. As a child, I never thought so either. But as an adult, you look back and you go, "Fuck, they did a good job doing this." That's why you like it more. Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
Watching it as an adult and the way Luke is like, I'm a Jedi like my father before me. Yeah, well, that Jedi killed a lot of children. Like, I don't know why all of a sudden you were like, oh, you were a good guy. Like, just because you were a Jedi,
wasn't a Jedi
when
he killed the children, though.
Oh,
right. And his father, and Vader did kill his father. Vader killed his father, Anakin, from a certain point of view.
Certain point of view. Yeah.
No, but also, Luke doesn't know that his father killed younglings. Luke doesn't. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's all like, you're a good guy. I'm going to give you this like honorable death. Anakin wasn't a good dude. Like, even if you take away the killing even if you take away the turning to the dark side, Anakin was not a super great guy.
Well, that's because you never saw Clone Wars. the cartoon. Again, you watch the Clone Wars cartoon, and then you will know what the Jedi was before he killed the
Shouldn't
onions.
have to read the supplemental material. It shouldn't be required of me. That's why Marvel
But you are.
is
You're
all
just
messed up
choosing
now.
what. You're choosing what to read. You're choosing what to ingest. You're ingesting the prequels, but you're not ingesting the Clone Wars. And then it's like, you don't have to, but then if you have a question about them or you want to say something, then you say, well, then you have to do your research and know what he's actually talking about. Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It did happen.
Well,
It's
no,
canon.
absolutely, because I didn't see it, it didn't happen. It's like Truman Show. If I'm not looking at it, it's not happening. Everything
So you're right.
goes away if I'm not looking at it.
So you're right from a certain point of view.
Point of view. Just like Luke was the last Jedi, except for all the other Jedi that somehow are out there. Oh well, Yoda's a liar. Can we all agree that Yoda's kind of a piece of shit? Like, lying to everybody, couldn't defeat the Emperor. Nothing he did was great.
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. First of all, Yoda's 900 years old.
So
You just going to judge him on one fight with Sidious where he couldn't beat him? Also, they say, like, the last one. Do you know how many Italians are left? Okay, maybe
many.
a few got through. It's a big galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe a few got through, and most of them didn't get through. I think that they keep it pretty legit on, like, who was actually alive or they knew was alive. I think that Ahsoka is somewhere else, and she's not technically a Jedi because she left the Order, you know, so I don't...
Why did Yoda say to Obi-Wan, you go kill your best friend, Anakin, I'll take care of the Emperor? That was
there's
stupid.
no way Obi-Wan could have ever handled the Emperor.
But it was more important to stop Anakin.
Not at the time. And no, it definitely wasn't. If Yoda would have killed the Emperor, everything's over. Everything. Emperor dies, you can bring Anakin back. You can bring Anakin back to the light if Emperor's gone.
Is that how it works? You can just bring him back. Like
Yeah,
JK.
Luke did.
I mean, Luke, Anakin immediately wanted to destroy the Emperor just so he could
true.
rule the galaxy with Padme.
Yeah.
That's how
That's what I'm saying.
quick the slide to the dark side is.
Anakin's not a good guy. He was gonna throw over his new boss.
Anakin isn't Vader. They're different people, just to make sure we're clear. Also, the minute he met Luke, he was like, we need to get rid of fucking the Emperor. That's how the Sith work. There's only ever two because they will try to kill each other. That's the thing. If you have
They're
more...
like hamsters.
Yeah, and then there's always another one, and he's got an apprentice. They're like, hey, the other Sith is always trying to kill the other one because their power and greed and all of that personified. Mm-hmm. And when you have that, there's only going to be one.
Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. That hamster metaphor really makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you know this about hamsters, but they'll try to eat each other if you put them together.
I apologize. I didn't know that. I would have given you a bigger laugh if I had known that.
No, it's fine. I from personal experience.
I mean,
like,
I'm just happy with that news.
You didn't know that?
Not to get 3 hamsters. No, I didn't know.
Don't get 2 him. They're gonna eat each other. Yeah. You got to take the babies away right away if you have a pregnant one because they'll eat the babies. Yeah, they're savages. It's crazy.
I can't live in that world.
So you said that. Well, I asked you what movie, so you wouldn't have been able to say Clone Wars, but you said Jedi over Clone Wars. Is that because I said movie? If I had said like property or something,
no,
would you put Clone Wars over Jedi?
The entire show over one movie?
Yeah.
Because I'm talking Clone Wars, I'm talking about the cartoon.
No,
I'm not talking about the Clone Wars movie.
No,
right?
no, I understand. No, I understand.
So
how many
if
episodes are we talking?
It's like 9. It's 8 seasons, I think. Of 24 episodes.
That's
it's a lot.
too many. That's a lot.
It is, but two a day.
They're only 20 minutes. They're only 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. But I would choose Return of the... I mean, I just choose Return of the Jedi over everything because it changed who I am as a person. My sister was Leia. My brother was Han Solo. I was Luke. I literally molded who to be as a person after Luke Skywalker. That's what I believe the ultimate good was. I think Rogue One is a better movie than all of them. I think Rogue One's the best Star Wars movie. But it didn't get me when I was a kid. If it got me when I was a kid, I'd be like, this is the best movie ever.
Did you immediately appreciate Rogue One? Because the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand. But, like, afterwards, I was like, oh, I see what they were... Okay, I see what they're doing. Okay, I get it.
I cried once during Rogue One. At the very beginning of the movie, straight through the whole movie. I've used that a lot.
Was it sad though, or you were just
Yes,
like it took you back to like
everyone died?
Oh, that was so great.
At the end, though, they lived a full life of 60 minutes or 90 minutes. You know,
No, it was so great. They all died. It was excellent.
But you knew there was no way they were going to survive.
But
that was
that's
the whole
thing.
thing.
Like my wife and I saw it, and she hates it because they all died. There's no happy ending, and I said, "Well, not all endings have to be happy."
It was happy because they got the Death Star plans.
They did. The sacrifice was worth it.
Let me correct you. They didn't get the Death Star plans. They got hope. They got hope.
Did you appreciate AI Leia at the end?
That was like,
you know, Death Star plans?
They did that.
They did.
No. They did, but I'm saying they got hope.
More than that,
yeah. And which led us into
hope is
a
more
new hope.
important than
they got hope. And I think that's more important than the Death Star plans. They absolutely got the Death Star plans as well.
Do you feel like
as well as hope?
Do you feel that Lucas always knew that Luke was a twin, but that the other twin was also going to be a boy because he made Tatooine have two sons, and he would have had two sons like twins because it's poetry and it rhymes?
I've never been angrier at you in my life.
I'm sad.
For a second,
late. This is not even the show I was expecting. It's all Star Wars talk.
I know. I don't know.
It's wild to me.
It just happens. Is
that no good? Are you? I mean,
no.
You just like the toys. Great. You hate Star Wars. I'm like the only one who likes Star Wars here.
Yeah, we actually hate Star Wars. Now that I think about it, I kind of hate Star Wars. No, I really like the Acolyte. I'm mad at Disney for canceling it.
Neither of you should be.
I feel like it's done now. I feel like there's not going to be anything new. It's all going to be very cookie cutter.
For the record, should be allowed to comment on Star Wars on the internet.
That's why
free country, bro. Free country, bro.
I stay quiet because I'll get shot down. I stay quiet on the whole thing.
Bro.
I'm gonna watch Acolyte and I'll probably like it. The first two episodes I was like, it was just like for me it was hard to get through and I haven't had a lot of time because I have a brand new baby. And I don't. The
second half makes up for the first half.
I've actually heard that. I just don't care too much about that time. The time.
No, I didn't.
I don't. So
I didn't care
it's gonna
either.
Be a big sell for me.
It's a very good story that they presented. I was not expecting. I was not. So this is what I'm talking about. They took a big swing, and it didn't pay off for them because they're not getting a second season. So there's no more big swings coming. It's all going to be bunts.
The thing that they will do though, and they've done this every time, is they say you're not getting a new season, and then they just work in the story they want to tell in other shows. You know, they did that. Like, I mean, Boba Fett,
bullshit.
Book of Boba
That's
Fett
bullshit.
is.
Yeah.
You don't think that's true?
No, I just think that sucks. I think that sucks that they had a whole series plan, and then friggin' right-wing lunatic goes and says something on Twitter, and then all those stories have to be consolidated into The Mandalorian.
What right-wing? I knew that people were just saying they hated it. Was there a right-wing thing about that?
Gina, what's her name?
Carano. What did she do? Oh my God.
She tweeted something not nice, and Disney's like, please delete that. And she's like, First Amendment, bro. And then they fired her, and then she was going to have a spin-off show, and then they didn't do the spin-off.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. I thought you said Gina Carano said something about Acolyte, and that's why.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'll say this, man. I am as liberal as they come. I don't think they should have fired Gina Carano.
They gave her a choice, though, and she was like, no. So they didn't want to fire her. She just gave them no choice. You can't say no to Disney.
What was she saying? Was she saying that the COVID? Because to me, I remember. I don't know if it was some racist or sexist shit, then fuck her. But if it was just COVID stuff, which I do not. I believe in the vaccine. I don't in New York.
No, it wasn't COVID stuff.
No, it wasn't COVID stuff.
I think she made a Holocaust reference.
Yes.
Versus
and
whatever was going on.
It even might have had some merit. It may not even have been the craziest thing. But Disney was like, please stop. And she was just like, no. Yeah. So of course you have to be fired. You can't say that to your boss.
I understand that. I have such empathy for people now because I think everyone on both sides has kind of gotten taken by the brainwashing. I hate to be political, but my mom went super right wing, crazy, way too right, and she was brainwashed. And like she believes crazy conspiracy theories. And my mom's one of the smartest people in the fucking world. And I love my mother. So it's like I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at the people that fucking brainwashed her.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
my collector's cups.
Sorry. Also, I know you're from Florida, so I have no idea which way you're going. I don't know if you're just like QAnon is real.
I think if you, again, thanks for listening. If you would ever listen to the show, you would know that we are big Trump supporters. No, of course not. Of course not. It may, some our neighbors posted on Facebook about their beliefs. And I was like, I didn't think that these people still existed. Like, have you not been alive the last 8 years and like seen? Like, what are you doing? Like, you can be racist, you can be sexist, but like, you're just voting against your own interests. Like, the world is literally going to die if you make this decision.
I know. I don't want to. I apologize. I just got to.
I mean, Star Wars is politics.
It is, but it's politics I can chew on. It doesn't make me sad because it's not real. But I did just buy this.
True. It's kind of real now. Is that a different one?
Oh, the Stinger. No, that's not. Is that the Stinger? No, what is that?
It's the Cobra Stinger.
Yes, I got mine too.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Vamp is the G.I. Joe one, I think, right?
Oh, I missed out on the Vamp. Did you get the Vamp?
Yeah, you don't need
Aren't you on the
Stinger's way better.
road? You brought your toys with you on the road?
No, I am on the road. I went to a GameStop and saw it and bought it, even though one was just delivered to my house.
Your hotel.
I was absolutely
vacation toys. That's funny.
Well,
I love vacation toys.
First of all, vacation toys are awesome. I'm gonna get to that in 1 second, but I do want to say that I'm in a casino for a week, doing a show once a night. So it really becomes a prison. So like,
well, sure.
Go into a store and buying a toy. Buying a toy on the road is the best thing in the world. It's the greatest little getaway you get. It's better than fucking doing drugs and getting all hopped up on fucking cocaine and whatever. This keeps me alive. Toys on the road keeps me alive, dog.
Bill and I know exactly what we're talking about. Better than cocaine. We know 100% what that's like. Let me ask you some. Have you ever worked a cruise as a comic?
No. It's a line where I'm like, all right, when I do that, I really got to change. So there's a lot of comedians who can do cruises and not change who they are. But for cruises, you got to be like so family friendly that you can't say anything. And I'm not like super dirty, but I'm Italian from New Jersey. So there's a lot of fucks going out.
You're Italian. Good. I can ask you, why are Italians so racist?
Buddy, because it's fun.
Is that it?
It's not great, but it is fun.
Somebody on TikTok gave me a legit answer, and it was like, I was like, oh, I guess if that happened to me, maybe I wouldn't be so like forward thinking about things. But come on, guys, come on.
I mean, dude, everyone is I hate to do this, but man, everyone who's dumb is racist. And I'm not saying I'm saying it like, so there are a lot of Italians who were the mob guys, weren't necessarily the smart guys. They were criminals. Sure. And they're the ones that are highlighted, so you go, that guy's a racist, right? But I'm not a racist on paper. But when I think, I'm kidding.
Provable way, yeah. Well, this all came up because of that. The Olympics and the female boxer implied that her opponent was a man, which is not the case, and that kind of spread like wildfire.
Right. That's not racist, and she's not Italian.
She was Italian. She was the Italian boxer.
She was?
Well, the Italian boxer is the one that made the claim that her opponent.
I don't count people from Italy as Italian. I count people from New York and New Jersey as Italian.
See, this is what I'm saying. People from Italy. Why are they so racist? What's going on over there? That's what I want to know. I thought you might have the inside track.
No. I think the inside track on why New Jersey Italians are so racist.
Well, I mean, that's
because it's fun.
It's a melting pot. How can you not be?
It is a big melting pot.
You're just mad at everybody. What's the first thing that comes? What's the worst thing you can think of when something bad happens to you? You go to race.
Well, here's the thing, right?
It's the meanest thing you can do.
I was doing a bit about this a while about like how I'm jealous of racist people because if something bad happens to me, I have to be like, why did that bad thing happen? I got to go to therapy and be like, oh, I feel this way because my mother yelled at me, and I'm like, well, now I have to confront my mother, and I have to do all this. It's like really hard. Or if you're racist, you're like, well, why didn't I get that job? Blacks, easy. You don't have to do any thinking. You have to do any soul searching. It's just quick. A very simple thing to do. that allows you to just not take credit. It's awesome.
That's amazing. That's
how
amazing. You solved racism. They're just lazy. They don't want to do the work.
Yeah. It's very easy to hate. Hate is so easy.
I get that.
The dark
I understand
side.
that. Yeah.
It's easier. It's sexier.
That's right.
Right.
It's so sexy.
Dude, anger is sexy. It is.
Yeah.
Being
is that
like
why you're so angry at me earlier?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Truthfully, I wasn't. But I'll say, like, if someone came up to you and was like, I'm going to kill that guy, versus someone being like, hey, why don't we give everyone a chance? As a guy who loves every movie, people get mad at me. Like, how do you love every movie? It's because I can find something good in every movie, and I choose to live like that by trying to find the good in everything. Like Luke Skywalker.
That sounds exhausting, though.
It's very exhausting.
Why do you do that to yourself? Who put that on you that you have to do that?
I put it on myself because...
But why?
Do you really want to know?
I do.
Truthfully?
Yes.
Because my dad is a raging and beautiful way Catholic. I was raised very religious. My best friend, my first girlfriend, was very, very Christian. I am a wild atheist. And I always said, I want to be more Christian than you without believing in God. And so that was like the wiring that I set in myself. That I said, all right, I want to act like that now. And then when I started acting like that, I started realizing anger bears weight. And I don't want to carry the weight, right? If I talk to you right now and you say something, when I'm mad at my mom because she says some bullshit, I got to carry that. Or I could just look at my mom. If you look close enough to anything, there's a reason why the thing did the thing, right? Like, look at what are the most evil things in the world, right? Pedophiles. Do pedophiles choose to be pedophiles? Or do they have something fucked up with their brain? Well, they're clearly not choosing it. Because if they're choosing it, that means this is a joke I'm trying to work on too, and people are not going to like it. If you think pedophilia is a choice, that means you want to fuck young people, but you're not. So they're not choosing. What? Do you follow or no?
No. They want to do the thing, but they're not. They're not what?
What I'm saying
they just aren't doing it?
If someone says that that pedophilia is a choice, yes, that means that they see it as a choice. I could fucking do it if I want to.
I'm just choosing not to do it today.
Yes, that means they're choosing not to do it, which means they are pedophiles, right? But so
they're just one choice away. One choice away.
You're just sitting there being like, "Man, look, I'm not doing it. So why is he?" It's like,
why does he get
to?
Why does he get to do it?
Right.
Why do he get to choose to do it? Yeah.
To come back to that point, even pedophiles have something fucked up with their brain. So we are. So if you look closely enough at anything, you can empathize it and see why it happens. So you look at that with people. Why is this woman being mean to me? Well, maybe 50 other dudes before were yelling at her, so now she's ultra defensive. So I'll give her some grace. Give everybody fucking grace. It's a way easier. It's not exhausting. It's a way easier life. Being mad, being a comic book fan who tries to love every single comic book is way easier than walking around every day with your shoulders fucking tight, being like, this new Star Wars sucked. That sucked. I think Brian Regan has a way better life than Bill Burr. I bet just his comedy alone just seems. You got to be angry, and I love Bill Burr. He's my favorite, and I love Brian Regan. Anyway, but I think holding that kind of anger constantly makes your shoulders hurt, makes your neck hurt. Or you can try to like it, and when you see it, it doesn't bother you. Let go and let gob.
Let go, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
You're right.
And yet you won't give Luke Skywalker grace for his decision to toss his lightsaber away.
I will give him grace when they show me the 60 hours of movies that built that story.
They don't need to because they explained it in the actual movie. They showed you what happened. They showed you the actual interaction that caused him to do that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't add up, man. I mean, well, it's character assassination. You're assassinating the character that was built before you. You're not showing respect to the character and what he did. And this is my big problem with Palpatine returning. If Palpatine returns, now Vader's sacrifice means nothing. This is another reason why that sucks. Well, then what the fuck did Vader do? He didn't really sacrifice anything.
Nobody.
Right?
Nobody likes that Palpatine returned. And in Fortnite, of all things. He returned canonically in Fortnite. And that was
I
the
know
end of Disney.
that's a thing has happened, but I've just chosen not to read it or know about it, and I've walked away.
We'll talk about it out there because I've gotten big into Fortnite. So that'll be that's what we'll talk about next time. Do you like video games? Do you play video games?
Yeah, I love. I get like a game a year or 2 games a year, and I play it till I die. So like, like all of the Batman movies I've beaten on the most highest 100% you can beat them. Ghost of Tsushima.
Batman movies. Are these like
games?
Are these NES games? Like, have they made a recent?
No,
I guess they made like
Arkham.
the Arkham.
Games
Okay. You said Batman movie, and I was
bad.
like, Batman Returns on the NES.
No.
You probably died before you finished
games.
that game.
Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm currently a Helldiver's head. I'm playing Helldivers. Like that's such a fun game.
Wow.
And there's 2 new ones I want to get, and I'm gonna get Star Wars. I'm gonna get the new Star Wars as soon as I get home.
Yeah. I really took a shot there because I can play Fortnite now. That's like my only video game knowledge. But you like totally blew me out of the water when you were like naming off stuff. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Oh, if you have
so
PS5,
much.
Helldivers is so fun. We should play together. It's so fun.
I have a Switch and a Wii.
Yeah.
And my phone. I play Candy Crush on there. Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, this was I feel like we did a lot of good work here today. I feel like it was constructive. This was not the conversation that I was anticipating, but I'm glad we had it.
Yeah.
I think we all learned a lot about each other.
Yeah.
I honestly do. I honestly feel like this was good. I can't wait to see how people react to this. I hope they do.
Engagement is king.
I feel like we've been shadow banned on TikTok because of that one video that Bill did that did so well. They're like, enough. You have enough views for the month. We're setting you to 200, and that's
I'm right there with you. That's terrible. There's been some real gold.
I know. It makes me angry. At least Instagram still is good.
Our last Instagram video did pretty well. There was one that got really high up there.
A lot of good stuff, and we talked about none of it this week. So I'm a little concerned that these videos won't do as well. You have to like watch this entire piece. It's gonna be hard to like chop it up and make individual clips.
I don't think so. I think there's some gems in there. Also,
I think you really need to see it all to like fully appreciate what we did here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully they'll open up the app. But I do think, and we probably say this off air, the one Dr. Doom video we did well because you put a picture of Doom, and I think that enticed the eye. I think that really helped.
I don't know how people find videos on Instagram. I feel like they just pop up in their feed, so you wouldn't even see like the thumbnail. But I don't know. It's all an experiment.
Maybe
I don't know. But we're consistently growing, so that's all we can ask for.
That's all we can ask for.
Greg Stone, my friend, our friend, we thank you for joining us. Is there anything you would like to promote? You want to send people to see your special? Is that still
Always.
on YouTube?
Yeah, just my special. Nobody Presents Greg Stone. It's on YouTube. And
you're starting to work. How do specials work? You starting to like plan for the next one?
Yeah. So I record. You usually you work on a new hour, and then when you think it's ready, you film it. But the way specials work now is you used to be a thing where a company would buy it or something. But YouTube is king now. YouTube is where you get more views on YouTube than you can anywhere else. So now specials are almost like a promotion thing where you go, I can put this out, then you see it, then you come see me live, and I can clip these up, and I can put this online.
Do you think we could do a live show where it's just the three of us talking about Star Wars? You think people would be into that?
We just did.
I know, but do you think people would pay
every
to
week?
Come see our live show?
Oh, live?
Every week? Yeah, see it live. We could do it like at Star Wars. What's their convention?
We could do this at Comic-Con. I can probably get
I think we should absolutely pitch this to like San Diego. Fly us out there. We'll do this.
Oh, right. I'm at New York Comic-Con. I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I guess for you it's both.
Neither.
They're both a distance.
Yeah, there's like Florida Con, but stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure we could. We just got to get some. I know New York. I mean, this is all off-air stuff, but New York Comic-Con really likes a hook. So, like, what's the hook of the show? Like, I've done a bunch of shows there that are like, oh, they pair a comedian up with an artist, and then they play Pictionary, and then like people love that. If you wanted to do this actual podcast at that show, we would have to have a significant amount of people of draw, unless we came up with a hook for a show idea. Then we could do it.
Well, I think this is a worthwhile adventure. So we'll
yeah,
start
absolutely. If you have an idea or whatever, we can definitely pitch it. I can definitely, pitch it for sure.
Because you're the most famous person we know, so we really rely on you.
No, I appreciate you making me feel better. That makes me feel good because I am the least most famous person of all of my friends.
Well, that's
even my
not
wife.
a terrible place to be, to have famous friends. Right?
Well, they're not famous. I mean, yeah, I could have some famous friends. I was just trying to make a self-deprecating joke, but not.
Bill's the most famous person.
All my friends are rich.
Bill's my most famous friend, so that kind of
and vice versa.
Right there.
I think, yeah.
It's nice. It's nice that way. It's like poetry. It rhymes. All right, Greg. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. All right, I'll see you later.